I found out on a Thursday. Mid-shift, covered in drywall dust, knuckles cracked from the cold, checking my phone while waiting for a delivery that was already 20 minutes late. There it was. A photo message from my cousin Mark. Just one line under it. Bro. That your girl? The photo was blurry, like most mid-zoom phone shots. Still, clear enough. Her. Jenna. Hair tied up, laughing in a hoodie that used to be mine. Sitting on the armrest between two guys I didn't know. Another dude grilling in the background. Cabin deck. Forest trees. Early spring light. Caption said it was that morning. 3 guys. 1 girl. Not just any girl, the one who told me she needed space to heal. 6 days earlier, she packed a small suitcase and told me she couldn't do this anymore. Said she wasn't ready. Needed time. Needed to heal. We stood in our apartment, well, technically mine, and I watched her pick which jacket to bring while crying in a way that made me feel like the asshole just for being there. I didn't beg. I didn't block the door. But I waited. Because I bought the idea. I believed her. She sold it with the kind of performance that makes a man question his own gut. For the record, I never once stopped providing. Rent, bills, groceries. Half her tuition last fall. I never mentioned the loan she promised to help repay. I took her car to the mechanic myself and paid for the alternator. I called her dad when she was too ashamed to. I was the one she leaned on when her last situationship wrecked her mentally. So yeah, it's done. But I figured she deserved some grace. I thought that was what love did. Looking back now, it wasn't grace. It was gullibility. When I got the photo, I didn't call her. Didn't send it back with a snarky comment. I didn't even finish my shift. I walked to my truck, turned the key, and just sat there. Breathing. Counting. Not angry. Not hurt. Just done. You ever hit that point? Not yelling, not crying. Just pure clarity. Like your whole chest exhales all at once. I drove home. Her closet was still half full. The bathroom had her shampoo and those pink razors I never touched. I took everything that wasn't mine and boxed it. No note. No passive-aggressive gesture. Just boxes. Neat. Labeled. I texted her. Come pick up your stuff. I'll be gone until 9. She replied 2 hours later. Why are you being like this? I told you I needed time. See that? The shift. Like I'm the one causing problems. Like I misunderstood her spiritual retreat. 3 guys. Same cabin. And suddenly it's my tone that needs work. That's when it clicked. It wasn't about healing. It was about leverage. About attention. About buying herself cover to do whatever she wanted without technically cheating. And if I reacted, she could say I never respected her space. See, I didn't grow up around manipulative women. But I damn sure can learn fast. Let me tell you how the pattern looked now that I see it. The "you deserve better than me" speech every time she wanted to disappear. The subtle critiques when I pulled back. You're getting distant. Like it wasn't her silence that made me cautious. The spiritual Instagram posts right before blocking me from seeing her stories. The financial guilt-tripping, followed by reminders of how broken she was inside. That was her shield. Damage as currency. Wounds as excuses. I used to think love meant sticking it out. That if you were a real man, you didn't leave someone when they were down. But here's the thing no one tells you, some people weaponize that. They depend on you being too loyal to walk. And every time you stay after a betrayal, they file it away as permission. She showed up that Sunday. Didn't knock at first. Just stood outside texting. I watched her from my office window, arms crossed, sunglasses on. When I opened the door, she looked surprised. You're here? It's my apartment, I said. She looked past me like she expected someone else to walk up behind. Nobody did. So, you packed my things? She said, stepping in like she still lived there. Yeah. I figured it'd save time. This is really immature. There it was. The deflection. The moral high ground shuffle. No mention of the cabin. No apology. Just indignation, like I broke some unspoken rule about grace periods for girls on soul journeys. You lied, I said. You said you needed space to heal? You didn't say you needed a weekend orgy. It wasn't like that. Mark sent me the photo. He was up there with his girlfriend. Recognized you immediately. Her mouth opened, then shut. Then came the tears. Fast. Like they had a trigger switch. I didn't know how to tell you, she said. I was confused. I still am confused. You had enough clarity to take a vacation. I needed to feel wanted again. You stopped looking at me the way you used to. That one hit different. Not because it was true, but because it was trained. That's the kind of line women feed each other on TikTok threads. Emotional redirect. Make the man feel like the lack of desire was his fault. I didn't flinch. You're not staying here, I said. Not tonight, not ever. So that's it. It's been it for a while. You just didn't feel the consequences until now. She left without the boxes. Said she couldn't carry them alone. I didn't offer to help. A week later she messaged again. I think we owe each other closure. That's another phrase people use when they want one more shot at rewriting the story. Closure is never for the person who's done. It's for the one who wants a softer exit. I left her on read. You want the real impact? Here's how it played out. My friends stopped asking about her. My mom said, I'm just glad you're okay. My sleep got better. My spending dropped. I stopped getting sick every other week. I focused on the jobs I'd been putting off. I got a bonus I hadn't expected. She, on the other hand? Mutual friends told me she tried reaching out to a guy she ghosted last year. He posted the messages publicly. Captioned it. She belongs to the woods now. Ouch. Eventually, she moved out of town. Blocked me. Started some wellness blog. You know the type: crystals, breathwork, womanhood wounds. No men in sight, unless they're paying for online courses. I never responded. Not out of anger. Out of clarity. Men talk about strength like it's a volume setting. But real strength is knowing when something's done. When you're pouring into a bucket with no bottom. When keeping the peace costs you your own. I don't hate her. I just don't carry her anymore. If you're reading this and you're in the middle of it, if your gut keeps twitching every time she needs space, but you're footing the bills and eating the silence, trust the twitch. It ain't paranoia. It's recognition. Patterns don't lie. People do. Heal yourself by refusing to be her band-aid. I did. And my life got quiet. And in that quiet, I found my self-respect again. It didn't hit me all at once. The quiet was weird at first. Like something was missing, but not in a sad way. More like walking into a room and realizing there used to be a leaky pipe under the sink, and now it's just dry. First thing I did was change the locks. Not because I was scared she'd come back, but because I didn't want to wonder. That little background stress. What if she shows up again? What if she still has a key? Gone. Click. Locked. Mine. Then I deleted her number. I knew it by heart, but still. I blocked it too. Not to punish her. Just so I wouldn't cave. There's something about the itch to text when you're feeling off. That muscle memory. I didn't trust my weakest moments. So I removed the option. I didn't post about the breakup. Didn't air it out. Just lived. When people asked, I said it was done. That was enough. The right ones didn't press. The wrong ones tried to dig for gossip. Work helped. It always did. I picked up a few weekend jobs. Something about hauling concrete or rebuilding a porch makes your brain line up again. Clear in, clear out? There's honesty in labor. No mixed messages. No guesswork. Just measure, cut, screw, level. Nights were trickier. You know what I mean. Nights are when the what-ifs get loud. When you feel like checking their socials, just to see. I didn't. I wanted to, sure. But every time I reached for my phone, I made myself do something else. Cleaned a drawer. Did push-ups. Called an old friend. Anything that wasn't crawling back into confusion. About a month later, Mark and I got beers. He brought it up. "You good? I know that shit was a bomb drop." I nodded. "Better now. You did me a favor." She always gave me weird vibes, man. Like everything was a test. That stuck with me. Because it was true. Every compliment I didn't say, every gift I didn't buy, every day I didn't come home with a big emotional speech, it was all logged. Tallied. Brought up later. "You didn't do this when I needed it." But ask her for anything and it was. "I'm just not in that place right now." I started listing rules. Quietly. To myself. Nothing formal. Just standards. First one was, if she makes me feel like I'm always walking on eggshells, I'm out. Second, I'm not explaining basic respect to grown adults. Third, nobody gets full access to me without earning it, consistently over time. I realized I had been cheap with my time, generous with my patience, and reckless with my energy. I fixed all three. Started going to the gym again. Not to get revenge hot. Just to remember what control felt like. And honestly, nothing clears your head like deadlifts. Pure tension meeting ground. I fixed up the truck too. She used to call it ugly. Said it smelled like sawdust and gas. She wasn't wrong, but it was mine. Always got me home. I detailed it, changed the tires, and kept it. People assume healing means meditation and therapy. And that works for some. But for me, it was fixing the stuff she used to complain about. Not for her. For me. Because when someone makes you feel like everything you like is a flaw, you start believing them. I went to dinner with a woman I met at work. Nothing fancy. She laughed at my dumb jokes and didn't check her phone once. I didn't bring up Jenna. Didn't mention what happened. Didn't need to. That date wasn't about moving on. It was about reminding myself I could. The best part? I didn't feel anything after. No sadness. No guilt. Just peace. One night, 2 months after the cabin photo, I got a call from her old roommate. She said Jenna moved in with her again. That she'd been bouncing between short-term jobs and was thinking about leaving the state. "She talks about you sometimes," the roommate said. "I don't," I replied. And I meant it. Because I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I had outgrown the chaos. And when you outgrow it, you stop needing to explain why. That's the peace no one sees. The win isn't loud. It's quiet. You don't celebrate it. You live it. More guys need to hear this. You don't owe anyone access to your life just because they once cried in your arms. You don't have to carry someone's damage as proof you care. And love without respect isn't love. It's emotional debt. I paid mine in full. And I don't take on new loans. More to come. Because this isn't just a story about walking away. It's about what you walk toward next. I started taking Sundays for myself. No calls. No texts. No work. Just me, the truck, and a drive until the road made sense. It wasn't some cheesy healing ritual. I wasn't blasting breakup playlists or chasing sunsets. Just quiet. Gas station coffee. Window cracked. Sometimes silence is the only real answer you get. That became my time to audit the past. Not dwell. Audit. Like, how did she get that deep into my life? Why did I let her make me feel small in my own damn home? Why did I let someone tell me what love looked like when all they brought was chaos? The questions hurt more than the answers. Because I saw the trail. Every time I chose her comfort over my gut, I lost a piece of self-respect. Little pieces chipped off by, "It's just this once." Or, "She's going through something." It added up. And by the time I realized I'd sold off chunks of myself to keep her steady, I didn't recognize my own boundaries anymore. But I wasn't bitter. I was just done giving away peace in exchange for potential. Work started to notice. Boss pulled me aside one Friday. Said, You seem clearer lately. You okay? Yeah, I said. First time in a while. He nodded. Didn't ask more. Real ones don't need paragraphs. Funny how when you're finally out of the fog, you see how many people were waiting on the sidelines for you to wake up. Mark, my sister, my gym buddy Vince. None of them ever liked Jenna. But they kept quiet. Because they respected my choice, even when I didn't. That's something I started paying attention to. Who actually shows up, and who just shows concern after the explosion. 3 months out, I got an invite to a birthday thing. Jenna was listed as maybe attending. Did I go? Hell yes. Because avoidance isn't healing. It's hiding. And I wasn't hiding anymore. When I walked in, she was already there. Different hair color. Same calculated expression. She saw me and froze a little. I gave a polite nod and grabbed a beer. She made a move to talk later, corner of the backyard. Alone. Hey, she said. Hey. You look good. I feel good. She waited for me to fill the silence. I didn't. I never meant to hurt you, you know. I know. But you still did. And that matters more. She blinked, like she hadn't prepared for that answer. I was a mess back then. Yeah. And I tried to carry it. That was my mistake. I wish we had ended differently. We ended the only way that was honest. That was it. I walked away. Not because I was cold. Because it was over. Really over. Closure wasn't a door she got to hold open. After that, things got simple. I started dating again. With standards. I didn't care how hot she was if she didn't bring peace. I didn't chase spark. I chased consistency. I kept boundaries clear. If she raised her voice to win an argument, I left the room. If she punished me with silence, I returned it with distance. I didn't explain things twice. That filtered a lot of people out. Good. I wasn't looking for quantity. I took a trip alone. Didn't post about it. Drove to the coast, walked the beach, drank coffee with old men at greasy diners. Laughed more that week than I had in a year. That's the part no one tells you. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's freedom. It's knowing no one's playing emotional chess with your every move. It's knowing your day doesn't turn upside down because someone else woke up sideways. Now, I sleep better. Eat better. Think clearer. And if I could go back and stop myself from ever meeting her? I wouldn't. Because I needed to break to learn my own thresholds. You don't learn how to build walls until someone shows you where the gates are wide open. That chapter taught me everything I needed to write the next one better. And this time, I hold the pen.